welcome to Daily Dispatch, a show that gives you all the latest news and updates from the digital ecosystem. I'm Priya Sheth. Thank you very much for logging in. Time now to get you all the top news stories that we've been tracking for you this evening. Well, first up, B2B digital adoption solutions provider Whatfix has raised about $90 million in a Series D funding led by SoftBank Vision Fund 2. Now, this brings the total funding raised by Whatfix to $139.8 million to date. It will be investing these funds in product innovation and focusing on artificial intelligence as well as enterprise solutions and providing personalized experiences. Well, moving on to the second headline of the day, Uber will be recruiting close to 250 engineers for its Bangalore and Hyderabad-based teams. This comes as the company continues to expand the scope of operations for its engineering and product work in the country. Now, Uber's expansion plans are in line with its vision to make mobility as well as delivery more accessible and to become the backbone of transportation in over 10,000 cities across the globe. Well, the Competition Commission of India has given a nod to edtech giant Byju for its acquisition of Akash Educational Services. Byju's is likely to spend about $1 billion to acquire Blackstone Group-backed offline test prep major Akash Educational Services. Now, the proposed combination will result in the merger of these two entities, as a consequence of which Byju's will be the surviving entity. Well, moving on to the final headline of the day, e-commerce firm Flipkart Group's wholesale entity in India and Ace Turtle, an omni-channel enablement platform, said that a joint venture company set up by them has secured licensing rights for toy and baby brands like Toys R Us as well as Babies R Us in India. Well, moving on to our second, I have with me someone who has helped build a very interesting brand in India. It's called Chumbak. I have with me the CEO, Vasant Nangia. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Nangia. I want to begin by asking you about the last couple of months, in terms of the kind of traction Chumbak has had in 2020 amid this pandemic.
So obviously, the pandemic was unforeseen by everybody. It's been quite a shock to a lot of people. We have a vast network across India that's been abruptly shut. So we've had to struggle with it, to be honest, on the offline front. The silver lining has been that our online business has really done well. That's very encouraging because, consumers are looking to buy our products. Within that also, we've seen, certain visible trends, and that's helped us a lot. It's sort of almost commonsensical that people are spending more time at home. So, they want to do up their home or they want to change their workplace a little bit inside the house. So our home categories, in particular, home and decor, have done very well. Of course, we are also one of the leading brands in, protective masks, which we do in a very Chumbak style. So a lot of that has helped us a lot during these last few months, which obviously are tough for anybody.
And you are looking at growing significantly. So what's the kind of strategy out there, considering that you did mention that a large chunk of your sales came via the online route?
Yeah, so let's put it like this. Offline is not gone away. As things return to normal, people still like to go browse, shop, touch, feel. So that is very much here to stay. So around 45 stores, I would say, maybe a little more than that, would be linked to all the websites where we sell online. So what does that allow us to do? In the true sense, you can buy on, say, chumbak.com or one of the leading websites, and the goods will be supplied from one of the stores. So that's the first step. You have a problem or you don't like it. When you receive it, you want to exchange it, you can go to our store and exchange it. So these are all, part of the customer satisfaction journey. You want to be flexible, because online only is passé. That is over. I mean, it's fine. Online only you'll buy some utility items, which detergent you want to use, and not likely to exchange. But we are in the business of decor, home, fashion, where you need a physical presence as well as this. That's how the omni-channel strategy was devised, and it's nothing new. It's been successful all over the world. There are many brands who started as online only, and then started setting up stores, and vice versa. I mean, we've done it vice versa, you can say.
Right, as I do understand, about 50% of your sales are coming via the online route at this point in time. So what's the kind of growth that you expect out there? Do you expect online to become a dominant channel for you going forward? And also in terms of the kind of growth in 2021, what is the strategy out there?
Okay, so we've got this is a very complex sort of things. I'll try and simplify that. So I think right now, last month, of course, we are 95% online, so not 50% because all the stores were shut or virtually shut. We think online will stabilize at 50, maybe 60%. It's anybody's guess given our projections for the next few years, because stores will come back and they are significant in what I just mentioned as a customer experience. Our strategy for growth is multi-layered. So one is offer to the consumer very clear product segmentation. So we are, for example, we got home decor, we've got fashion products, lifestyle products, watches, bags, and so on. So within home, we break it up into kitchen and dining, bed and furnishing. So if you go to our website today, it's much more consumer friendly in the way it's organized. The way consumers see us in the stores will be similar. So you're very clear that you want to buy for a gift, you want to buy for yourself. So part of the strategy is getting our portfolio deep enough and wide enough to give enough choice and provide clarity to the consumer as to how Chumbak is evolving into I would say it's premature to call us international because we've not gone international really. But I think we are becoming more and more a go-to brand for the young woman for a lot of things, which she would like either in the home or to wear. So that's the core of the strategy. I think among the things that, specific strategies, first was how do we get our entire product line more aligned with the design requirements that we have. So, for example, people still remember us from the quirky souvenir type of brand. But our audience has grown and so have we. We found consumers wanting some more serious stuff. So we've got a very successful launch of, bed linen recently. That's one way of putting it. The design language also has evolved. We used to do certain kind of design, which is now evolved as our consumers evolve to more, while still being fun and cheerful and colorful, we've evolved it to be more universal in appeal. So that's the second part of that. Omnichannel is the third, which we already mentioned. Fourth has been to broaden the target base. We've got Sara Ali Khan as our brand ambassador. She, unfortunately, because of all this chaos, she's not been able to release her films and we've not been able to market in this environment. But essentially, that's one way of reaching out to a broader audience. Because we have the infrastructure, we have the product, we now need to reach to a broader audience. So that helps us. And lastly, I think we are strengthening our bonds with our consumers. We got fans over 1 million. We got what is traditionally called our CRM database. So it's not about pestering them, but to build relationships with them, listen to them, build bond with them. So that's an important part, the fifth part of our growth strategy. And the last part is digital as a means to grow, which means digital marketing, digital outreach in social media, and so on. These are, it's a large number of things, but 5-6 buckets.
Are you looking at expanding the kind of portfolio that you already have? I know that you are present in diverse segments. Will you be adding more segments or categories to your overall portfolio?
We are present in a lot of them. I think 2 categories where we are just starting, as we see the potential based on consumer feedback. One is we have a small collection of beauty and wellness, which we want to grow. So there's some developments in the pipeline, which will be coming, that I can share with you, maybe another 2-3 months. And the second we found is what we call occasional furniture. If you want, that's also fits in the part of our home and decor story. We see potential there. So that's another area we are working on. So those are the 2 kind of categories. We we look at a little more seriously.
When it comes to this kind of expansion and the kind of growth plans that you're looking at, will you be also looking at some external funding for at this moment?
No, at this point, no. Maybe in future. So we have, of course, dreams to get much bigger, maybe go international. At that time, we'll look at, we may need. At this moment, no external funding.
Right. And in terms of international expansion, I do understand that Chumbak has been eyeing global markets. What is the strategy out there? Are there certain markets that you've earmarked as some markets that you will be launching products in to begin with?
It's a little early. We have been working on some plans. So the first is we want to go internet first. So which means that markets like the US or UK or Japan, where we can look at internet first as a significant entry methodology. The second is where we believe our designs will resonate. When we get into small markets, we have to be very clear how we want to approach them. So right now, the prelim thoughts are that we'll go internet first, go to a couple of larger markets where we feel the products have resonance. We know from some of the data we are collecting. So we are, as you know, all companies with this digital collect a lot of data. So we know what our consumers are looking for, where, which country. So very data-led approach to how and when we go international.
Right. The final question as far as revenue growth is concerned, what is the kind of revenues that you've clocked at this moment? And when you look at FY22, what kind of revenue growth are you aiming for?
Those numbers, I'm afraid I cannot share with you. We're bound by some of our investor NDAs. But I can tell you that this year, we are definitely looking at significant, I wouldn't say double-digit growth over last year. The last year was heavily impacted with the COVID, extended COVID impact. So I think we will be looking at. And going forward, of course, double-digit growth, high double-digit growth every year. That's our goal. And online itself will be going probably triple digits. That's our goal as well. So that gives you kind of flavor of where we are headed.
All right, Mr. Nangia, thank you very much for joining us today on the Daily Dispatch. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks. Pleasure being here.
Time now to wrap up this edition of the Daily Dispatch. I'll catch you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Goodbye and stay safe.